Hey guys, I'm going to do another Talbot shaving today. Soap by them called Valley of Fire. Obviously a collaboration with Katie's Bubbles. Now yesterday's soap was Talbot Shaving Double Trouble, or day before that. And I liked so many of the notes of the Double Trouble, but there was this minty, almost cedary, punchy kind of note that was just a little too strong for me. So I'm glad I get to try another Talbot. I'm guessing that Katie's Bubbles did the scent maybe, and that Talbot did the base. So we'll see. I remember when this was first coming out. This is my 10098 Omega brush. It is the one that's taken so long to kind of break in and get comfortable. It's not scratchy anymore, but it's not soft. And we're also going to be using the Karve. This is the 3.5 inch handle. I got the 3 and it looked so short for my hands. And also the 3.5 has this nice balance point right there where my thumb is. The plate we're using is the A plate in the obviously open comb version, and I have polished, just hand polished with some chrome polish, the shiny parts that you see that are not the default bead blasted finish of the Karve Christopher Bradley razor. And the blade we're going to put in it is one that I've been enjoying the last couple days, Personna Platinum Chrome. I believe maybe they're called Supers, Personna Platinum Super Chrome or something. Personas are kind of mystical in their nomenclature. Some blades have multiple names and multiple packaging methods, and it can be very tricky. The stainless steel version is out now. I'm so tempted to maybe pick up a stainless steel version, but I think I'm going to hold back because this one's terrific. I love brass. This one may bend if I drop it, one of the corner teeth, but I never have, and I've used it quite a bit. You have good grip with this handle, and I love the look of it. I mean, I've got so many other stainless razors or chrome colored razors that I think I'm just going to have to keep my character in check and maybe make this a thorn in my side, if you will, something that I always hold back on, just to have a little bit of self-discipline and not buy everything that's ever made. All right. Showing you the razor, the blade, the brush, and the soap, so we're ready. I'm going to get my face a little wet. Not quite 24 hours since the last shave. So this guy right here, I'm going to shake most of the water out. And then we'll load up. As you can see, I don't have a lot of soap in here. It's definitely been used. I don't get a lot from the dry puck. Just kind of a woody scent. There's not much coming from there. It may have been not used in a while. So let's just kind of load it for maybe 30 seconds and see what it looks like. These are kind of long bristles on this brush. Let's see if that gives it enough movement. Sometimes when you have long bristles, they tend to kind of stay in the middle and just pivot around, and you don't actually get a lot of load. Coming up on 30 seconds in just a couple of seconds here. Let's just go ahead and go to 40 just to make sure, since this looks a little weird. So I'll start with 10 seconds again. Moderate pressure, and there we go. So it doesn't look like too much. See if that woke up the scent at all, or if maybe this is a soap that the scent just kind of fades on a little bit, or maybe it's just super mild. There are definitely plenty of soaps out there that are just kind of too mild to really enjoy. And the good thing is there are people out there who need those kind of soaps. This brush has soaked for a few hours today, so that's good. It is showing great resistance to softening up. Now we're young. This is the 19th use of this brush, and that's not a strange place to be at 19 uses. I was just asking a question online today about people who had experience with Omega brushes. Do they ever get soft? Do they just kind of stay not prickly? I did understand that the Omega bristles that are used in all the brushes are one kind of bristle, and they don't grade their bristles, and that was confirmed today as well by somebody else. Not really getting anything other than a woody note coming up to my nose from at this point. But this brush started out kind of prickly. I have been doing a mild break-in procedure of soaking it often for an hour or 3 before use, and in just lukewarm water, and because I don't want to break it in a sudden or weird, unnatural way. And so this feels a little bit more like normal. But it's taken so long to break in, and I'm glad for this one that I'm not doing it just simply by using it, because I think it would just take a long time. Indeed, somebody answered the Omega question by saying something like 6 years they finally got their Omega brush to where they enjoyed using it. Now, they say it was kind of their fault because they were trying different break-in procedures, and they believe that perhaps that they broke off some of the split ends, and so that slowed down their progress. Now this brush does actually feel good with a lather that's too dry, that doesn't have enough hydration, and so it's got a lot of a lot of creaminess to it. So that's good for the brush, and it's good for the feel on your face of the brush, but it's not good for close shaves. It's not good for proper hydration of the lather if it's too dry. This handle's pretty ergonomic. I like it for big hands. It does have a seam. It's plastic, just kind of standard plastic. It has a seam that, could get to you if you didn't shave it down a little bit. How is this lather looking so far? Smell is not very strong with this guy. My Simogs are breaking in. Got comfy really quick, just 3 uses or so, as well as my Zenith. My Sterling Boar, that's in the cycle as well, is also one that is kind of like this guy, slow. He's denser than this one, and the bristles aren't as long, so I prefer him a little bit so far, because that non-softness is kind of spread out amongst the bristles. Now this is still kind of, look at that shape. See, it's still easily holding its shape in there. And I'm thinking that means I'm going to need to keep adding water. So there's half a teaspoon. And another half and another half. So we're looking at 3 teaspoons now, I believe. In the lather. I don't think I missed a refill, in which case it would be 5 teaspoons. I think it's just 3. But even though I may not have enjoyed the scent quite so much of the Double Trouble, love the story behind it though. Didn't really like the scent, but performance was terrific. Really, really nice. There we go. Now see, this looks a lot better than what we saw just a second ago. It's definitely wetter. So far it looks like I'm got a decent quantity, so I'm glad I went back for that extra 10 seconds. Yeah. All right, let's try this. With these long bristles, when you're in stirring mode, the bristles kind of get kind of thin, but when you punch it down in there, I'm not splaying the bristles very much, but what that does is it kind of inserts the lather inside in between the bristles, and so it opens up a lot bigger. I think I am gonna add another half. And just for good measure, I think that's, crap, is that 4 or 6? I don't know. I might have to watch the video back to know what to put in my journal. All right. Soft water here at this location, and I'm just using lukewarm to cool water. Yeah, you see the way that collapsed? That's what we're talking about. All right. The water on my face. Punch it down into the lather. Fill up the brush. I'll do a little painting first just to kind of spread the lather around on my face. Now let's do the, oh, come on now. Not any prickle. We've definitely got the leather wet enough. Probably a little too wet for my tastes, actually, if it's flinging off on a regular basis. But it'll give me a nice shave. Some people, this is where they want it, this kind of consistency. use the painting strokes to kind of lay down a light layer. Yeah, this is wet. I would not want to go this wet in the future. I mean, it's okay, it'll perform like I said, but it's messy. Okay. Personna Platinum. Inside the A, open comb. Open comb does not always mean aggressive. This is the A. It goes all the way from double A to A, B, C, D, E, F. I think he even has started to make a G. Probably for those nutballs who just really love aggressive razors. But this is a smooth open comb. I get great shaves with it. Very close, but very comfortable. You'll hear a little bit of audio from the blade, but not a lot, because this razor grips the blade so close to the edge. There's not much to vibrate. Nice and slick, very comfy. And that's the first pass. The second and third are always exponentially more comfortable. Face feels good. All right, I'm going to rinse. If you get to this situation, like I have, where the lather's a little more wet than you like, what I do is just dry my face between passes. Part of the moisture in the soap and the lather here will then go into your face and out of the lather. And so it'll be a little thicker than your first pass. Now just lay down, and you can see this is just a little thicker. Plenty of lather to do the job today. Bet I did add 6 teaspoons. Cross grain now on my cheeks and face. When it's this wet, it's not going to be so luxurious that you get really nice rinses. Just the way it is. You'll get nice slick rinses. They just won't really be of the luxury nature. And rinse now. So the brush has just a tiny bit of prickle because these kind of brushes don't thrive as well in these wet lathers. If you're going to do them this wet, it's better to use a Badger or just a super soft Boar, in my opinion. Unless you like the kind of scritchy feel. Alright. And looks like we probably have about 2 more passes left, so we did have plenty of lather to do the job. I am still glad I did the extra 10 seconds. And this is a nice lather, I can tell, even though it's too wet, because I mean it's doing a great job. It's letting me, with this low gap from the A, it's letting me get nice and close to the skin and going to give me a good shave. But of course the proof's in the pudding at the end of the shave, right? Looks like I got a little nick right here. Probably wasn't holding my neck just right, being a little careless. See what kind of result we have in this area. My tricky spot looks pretty good. We'll go with that. And full rinse now. I didn't really get a great cut today. Don't exactly know what it was. Maybe this lather was too wet. Maybe I went too fast. Maybe I didn't, I'm used to different kind of lather, and so I should have paid a little more attention to the stretching of my skin, but there's just a little bit on my neck here, too much of a shadow. Not length that I see in a bunch of tips, but a few, but it's just not cut quite as closely as I often get. And so it's very likely just probably user error on my part. And I'll definitely use this combo again and see what we get. But very little irritation. There's a couple of spots that look a little red, but they don't really feel bad or anything. And so I'm going to throw on some balm here from Soap Commander. It's a great company. Integrity, unscented is what Integrity is. And then this one is the Menthol-free Integrity, because I don't like menthol, or very much of it. So this lather, this didn't really have too much scent to it. Super light, even when I stick my nose in it. Wow. I don't know if that's typical. Maybe the person who had it before me. Some people like to leave it open for 24 hours after usage, and sometimes that can let some of the scent escape. But that's really, really lightly scented. All right, well, it's time to clean up. So here's that Personna Platinum Chrome I've been using the last few days. And he has about 9 uses on him. And who knows, maybe he's getting to the end of his cycle. You know, most blades I've been able to take to 30 uses without a problem. You know, but I don't think I'll be able to do that with all of them. So at some point I'm going to run against one I can't. Boy, I think that was 6 teaspoons of water used. 2 passes probably. Still in my bowl. So, man, both my Talbot were kind of a miss. This one too lightly scented. The other one had just kind of a note in it that was a deal breaker for me. But I believe the performance and the base of both of them to be excellent. This one was my fault because I overwatered it. The other one was perfect. So the base I think is terrific. All right, I'm going to clean up. So I don't know if I told you or not, but Valley of Fire was supposed to have notes of pineapple leaf, suede, melon, lavender, pink peppercorn, and patchouli. And it's patterned after the scent by Jimmy Choo. It's called Choo Man. So those are some deets there, but I don't really think I smell very much to it. Just kind of a woody note. Maybe some remnants of the peppercorns. But that's really about it. I don't really smell very much at all. That's the way it goes sometimes. Just to show you, here's the bead blasted finish with the Karve brass razor, and then this is the polished, hand polished. I could do it with a buffing wheel and maybe some buffing compound, and it would get even shinier, but I'm going to settle right here for a little while. I kind of like that. I think it blends really effortlessly with the edges of whatever head I put on at this point. And then I just pivoted this in the rag with the polish I was using, the liquid polish. Some people claim that they can smell the brass, and I can smell it when I put it up to my nose, but that's the only time I ever smelled it, and I had used this thing 30 times before I even knew that there was a smell to it, and that was only because somebody brought it up. So to me, the smell is so light that I don't even notice it. I do not notice that it's there. But for some people, that could be a deal breaker for them. Well, that was a messy shave, but it worked out. The shadow has improved, and I found sometimes that to be the case. When you look at it right after the shave, maybe something about your skin kind of snaps back, and a certain amount of length of hair that you see at the very end there is just lessened just a little bit, 10 minutes, 50 minutes later somehow, and then your shave looks even better than it was. So I'm happy with this, very comfortable. I'm not walking away with any irritation or anything like that. So comfy vacation shave, real good. I'm happy. So this guy wasn't quite as rough as I thought he would be, but I still got some prickle, but again, probably my fault because the lather was just a little too thin. What's interesting with this Omega, now that I've heard some people's reports that it could take a year or two of use, before it breaks in. See, I cycle my stuff. I've got 8 boars that are in this cycle. And when I catch up to my Samoga Owners Club, I want to bring that one in too. And so then I'd only be using this guy, once out of every, 12 uses, because I'd be throwing in some badgers every once in a while as well. And so it could take forever to finally get to where I enjoy this guy. So who knows? At some point I may decide it's not worth the effort. But for now, we'll keep on going. There are definitely some split tips on him. Definitely, that is happening. And that's no doubt why he's not as prickly as he used to be. So we'll just keep on rolling with him for now. Love my Chris Bradley razor from Karve. Just terrific. One of my all-time favorites. Sold my Rockwell pretty much immediately after I bought the Karve. I used it several times. I thought, don't need that one anymore. To me, it just kind of beats the Rockwell in all areas. It's prettier. It has a wide range of plates that I enjoy. All the way from smoothness of the AA to the D in the solid bar, and pretty much that same range in the open comb as well, are comfortable for me to use. Where the Rockwell 2 and 3 is where I usually stayed. 1 was too mild to even bother with. 5 and 6 plates were too rough for me, too aggressive. 4 was okay, but I just usually didn't want to bother with it. 3 was kind of the same result as 4 with just more comfort. So 2 and 3 is just where I stuck. And whereas I get a lot better with the Karve. And then I get a smoother shave with the Karve because it holds onto the bottom of the blade right close to the edge instead of just the top only like the Rockwell does. So for me, it was an easy decision to switch. I have not regretted it at all. There are definitely lots of Rockwell fans out there who have tried the Karve as well, and they still like their Rockwell, and that's just fine. There's razors for everybody. All right, we're good. Shave's all done, and I hope there was something here for you. I learned not to push too much water into a Talbot soap, but it still performed. It was still slick, even though I did that. So this is Sugar Daddy Shaves. You take care, and I hope there's been something good here for you. Bye.